Good morning. We're going to start with a song that we're going to do together, Come and Go With Me to That Land. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. And we can sing together. It goes like this. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Because there'll be freedom. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. Singing and singing. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm
Good morning, Beacon. Good morning. I don't know about you, but whew, happy Sunday. It has been a very, very, very long week, but a beautiful week. Welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation and Summit. We have a very special program today, so I'm going to keep my welcome remarks as short as possible because you didn't come here to hear me, did you? We have two big events happening. Of course, our coming of age service, where our 9th and 10th graders are going to share with you what they believe at this time in their lives. So I hope that you're ready to learn as much from them as I have learned from them. We are also celebrating Reverend Robin, who's hiding in the back. Can you believe that we have been blessed with 10 years of her as our minister? So please stick around after service to have some celebratory cake for not only recognizing her 10-year anniversary, but also our coming of agers. And then after our 11 o'clock service, if you're planning on sticking around the whole time, this microphone is a little high, that we will have a luncheon afterwards, so don't go get lunch. We're feeding you. And if you are a little peckish, there will be food after the second service, after the first service as well. So thank you for being here this morning. Get comfortable in your seats, take a deep breath, and let's light our chalice, shall we?
We light this chalice as a symbol of our commitment to the values of Unitarian Universalism. May its light be a beacon of hope to us and to all who seek freedom, truth, and meaning in life.
So what is coming of age? Coming of age is one of the most meaningful rites of passage in the Unitarian Universalist faith. It marks a pivotal moment in a teenager's life, a time when they explore who they are, what they believe, and what they want to have carry with them into adulthood. This year, our 9th and 10th graders embarked on a lifelong journey, sifting through the many influences in their lives and discovering what they truly value and want to live by. So some of the questions we explored together were, what is your family and faith legacy? What are your values? What brings you joy? What is human nature? And what is the nature of life? Is there a higher power or a God? How can spirituality help you navigate life? And then ultimately, who do you want to become? This achievement didn't just happen. Coming of Age Sunday is a culmination of everything you've experienced here at Beacon from the very earliest times all the way out into what you've experienced in the world. Some of you were dedicated as babies, and your parents in this community affirmed their sacred responsibility to help you fulfill the promise of every child. And I hope that we've done that. I remember some of you from our pre-K class that Anne-Marie Heinrichs and I used to lead. Devin refused to ever make eye contact with me. Allison, Marty, Mauden, Kate and Ellen, Bob and Ellen, Medura, Chad, Steve, Charlie, Sheeran, Kathy and John, our Beacon staff, so many people, including the most important crew, your parents. We're there to help you, navigate you, help you manage your schedules, your well-being, and dropped you off and picked you up every Sunday, and Sunday after Sunday after that. And with their help, you always showed up, ready to share, to connect, and grow. This is a talkative bunch if you haven't figured it out, and they're very tied together, and we are so grateful to have provided an opportunity and a space for you to be that way together. But you weren't just sponges. You put what you learned into practice. Some of you were part of the junior youth group and ran game nights at Chancellor Avenue Elementary School, where we have had a tutoring and relationship with them. Kate is the undisputed Easter egg hunting champion. She is the master of hiding eggs. So many of the ones you'll find around the building all the way up until Christmas, more than likely were touched by her. You cooked and served at the Snowflake Barbecue. You made care packages for Summit Warm Hearts, and you visited the South Plainfield Pantry and helped pack bags. Shelby used me as a meat shield during the haunted hayride so that she could provide herself safety from the ghouls and goblins that were chasing us. Callum has regularly helped out with various things around the building, and hopefully very soon he'll be one of our audio techs. Teddy, Lucas, Devin, Bobby, you guys never let me lift a box. When I walk in the room and you see me with something in my hand, you immediately come over and get it. You just ask where it needs to go. Because you understood that relationships, that showing up for one another, is everything in beloved community. So this morning, we have shown up for you. Today, you are our teachers. We're here to be inspired, to be taken back to our youth, however many decades ago that was, and to hear your values, your spirituality, and the beliefs that you currently claim as your own. Because after this year of questioning and exploring, a process I hope you'll continue to do through the rest of your lives, my charge to you is simple. Never stop learning, and never stop sharing your gifts. We adults stuck in what we know to be true is a very bad place to be. Don't join us. There's enough of us there. Stay liquid. The world needs your pluralistic, transformative perspectives to help us find our way forward together. Because Beacon is a community constantly refining itself through shared exploration. And as you listen this morning, congregation, I invite you to ask yourself, if the tables were turned and you had one chance to stand before this congregation, as scary as it may be for some of you, in person or online, and share what you valued most, what would you say? And with that, please welcome the coming of age class of 2026.
me, honesty is trying to be real with myself and with other people. It means noticing when I'm pretending everything is fine, or when I'm saying what I think I should say instead of what I actually feel. I'm still figuring out what it looks like to be honest in a way that feels natural and not forced. In everyday life, this shows up in small moments, like when I admit I'm confused instead of just staying quiet, or when I tell a friend how something affected me instead of just brushing it off. Sometimes it's awkward and I don't always get it right, but I've noticed that when I am honest, things feel more real between me and other people, even when it's not perfect. I'm also learning that honesty must come with care. If I've learned anything about the UUs, it's that caring is our main principle in our religion/philosophy and a main principle in our hearts. As I grow up, I want honesty to stay part of who I am, but in a way that keeps growing with me. I don't want to lose the sense of being real, even when it's uncomfortable.
When I'm old and no longer able to do much, I want to look back on my life and say, I'm happy with my life and what I was able to accomplish. I might not know how exactly yet, but I hope that along the way I can help people and make a positive impact on the world. I believe every person deserves a fair chance in life, no matter where they come from or the circumstances they are born into. Opportunity should not be reserved for a lucky few. It should be accessible to everyone. Whether someone grows up with wealth or hardship, they should have a chance to pursue their goals, to find who they are, and build a future they can be proud of. But how can one person help billions of others facing so many challenges? The truth is, I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is this: if everyone contributes even a little, it can make a huge difference. Together, we have the power to make the world better. Even small acts of kindness matter. Helping others often makes us feel good, whether it's giving money to someone in need or offering your seat on a train to a pregnant woman. If small actions can have that effect, imagine a world where no one experiences an unfair start to life. In that kind of world, overall happiness would likely increase, while those given new opportunities would benefit. So would everyone else. So why isn't the world already like this? Why do people still suffer? In a way, that's like asking, why isn't the world perfect? The answer may be that perfection means different things to different people. What seems perfect to one person might seem terrible for another. For example, I might love roller coasters while someone else might hate them. This leads to another question. Why don't we all think the same? I'm not sure, but I do know I wouldn't want that, and I don't think anyone else would either. Our differences give us freedom and creativity. However, there is a trade-off. With freedom, not every thought or action will be good. When harmful ideas are put into action, others can suffer, because no one is perfect. I believe suffering is, in part, a result of human nature. Another big question is, why are we here? I don't think this will ever be fully answered, and I'm okay with that. I'm glad that I get to live a beautiful life with a beautiful, loving family and friends, and would like everyone to be able to say the same. And what about what comes after life? Like the previous question, I don't think it matters as much as some people believe. Once we are dead, it won't matter if there is something, because we can't think or feel anything. But it is something I still think about. I would like to think there is an afterlife with no problems, and I can do or be whomever I want. But I also think when our lives are over, they should stay over. We already had our chance to achieve and live an amazing life, and maybe you should stay that way. In the end, it's important to reflect on these big questions, because curiosity helps us grow. But even more important is how we live our lives and treat others. If we focus on helping one another, even in small ways, we can create a better world for everyone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nisa Iwama, and I'm the Director of Music Ministry, and I'm happy here today to be here with Joelle Bochler. Thank you so much for helping us lead song, and something that was just arranged this week. So I hope that you will join for that concert. And what we'll do right now is we're going to sing Loosen, Loosen by Ally Halbert, and we'll teach the whole thing. And then after that, you can pick which part you want to just kind of sing along with as we do this as a community. It goes like this. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and
Good morning, Beacon. Good morning. My name is Allison Murphy, she, her. I am one of the chaplains here at Beacon. And before we get to candles this morning, I want to invite forward my friend Mark Williams, who's going to talk to us a little bit about mental health.
Good morning, Beacon family. Good morning. Good morning, church. I have no preferred pronouns. I am 5'11", a balding, brown-skinned man. I am wearing green polo shirt distinguished by its multicolored, stigma-free emblem layered over a green ribbon. Green being the international symbol for breaking the stigma that so often accompanies mental health challenges. May is here, thank goodness. A month where spring is in full bloom. For Mental Health Awareness Month, I am choosing to reflect on a theme that moves beyond simple awareness into action. Building on one of Reverend Jay's recent sermons from last month, Embracing the Possible. Too often, conversations about mental health focus on what feels impossible. Overcoming trauma, managing relentless anxiety, climbing out of depression, or finding care in a strained system. But this month, we invite you to shift the lens. What if instead of asking, why is this so hard, we ask, what's one small possible step forward today? Yet even as we ask that question, we must name the reality. The barriers faced by diverse communities are concrete and deeply intersecting. Stigma is among the most pervasive in Black, Latino, Asian American, and immigrant households. Mental illness carries profound cultural shame, rooted in historical trauma and institutional mistrust, often framed as a moral or spiritual failing. Baldwin writes, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can change until it is faced." So why embracing impossible matters? Hope isn't about denying pain, it's about recognizing that even within struggle, small possibilities exist. Possibilities might look like sending a text to a friend instead of isolating, taking 3 deep breaths before a stressful meeting, attending one therapy session, even if it makes you nervous as all get out, going for a 5-minute walk when a full workout is out of the question, setting a boundary to protect your energy for the first time, being here on this glorious morning to celebrate our young people and 10 years of spiritual leadership for Reverend Robin. Embracing the possible does not mean toxic positivity. It does not mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging reality while still leaving a crack in the door for hope. As Reverend Robin has shared, hope is a choice. If today the only possible thing you can do is getting out of bed, that counts. If it's asking someone else to make dinner, that counts. If it's simply surviving another hour, that counts. This Mental Health Awareness Month, let's move beyond awareness into gentle, persistent action. Let's celebrate the small, possible steps, our own and others. Let's remember, even in the hardest days, possibility is not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to take the next small step forward. What's one possible thing you can do today for your mental health? With hope and solidarity, embracing the possible. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Mark. One of the roles, the role of chaplains is to extend the spiritual care of our community. And one of the ways that we do that is by gathering for our community candle lighting. Thank you to Hannah for lighting candles with us this morning. Our first candle this morning is a candle of pride and honor to celebrate the coming of age of our youth here today at Beacon, including Callum, who is my youth. And it's also being celebrated at several other congregations in our area. May these children, young adults, carry the messages of their credos out into the world. We light a candle of thanks to the families and the RE leaders who have guided these kids through the years and to this special day. We light a candle of support for all of the youth and their parents and teachers who now face this crazy season known as the end of the school year. May they find joy and not anxiety as they lead into final exams, final performances, final games, proms, graduations, and all of the 600 other things on the family calendar. I'd now like to invite forward Dr. Tuli Patel for one final candle this morning.
Thank you, Allison. So she's gotten many shout outs, but I do want to give the formal shout out. We're going to light a candle for Robin, but before we do that, I want us to channel some compassion because she doesn't like this. So she's not feeling good about it. So let's hold that. We've all been in spaces where we're a little bit like, oh no. So we're going to hold that in our hearts for her. And really what I want to focus on is gratitude. It was 10 years ago when we started hearing the name Robin Tanner, and today I'm appalled to say that 10 years ago I said, who's that? So there's no way that that would happen today. She is the president of the UU Ministers Association, over 1,000 ministers. And so I really want us to feel that not only is she our called minister, we called her, but she has a presence in the continental Unitarian Universalist movement and other faith traditions as well. She's constantly going off to interfaith gatherings, that it's really very, very special, and we should not underestimate that. A candle for Robin. Would you come forward, please, Robin, and receive our thanks?
That's plenty. Thank you all so much. I just want to express my gratitude and say that of the many things that I've been granted the grace to participate in ministry here at Beacon, I have to say one of my most treasured moments is the time that I get to spend with the coming of agers. And in the past, I was able to co-facilitate it, and I wasn't this year. Although I know y'all were in good hands, I was so grateful to get one session with you and to be here this day. It feels really fitting that it's 10 years of being here, having the gift of being among your ministers here at Beacon and being able to sit and receive your wisdom. So I just want to lift up each of our coming of agers and my gratitude for all that you've poured into this service and this experience across this year. And I can't wait to continue to companion you over the years and see what else you're going to teach us.
And for whatever joys and sorrows you may be holding today, please join us in our candle lighting. I will ask our ushers to help lead the room. Remember, we have changed the way that we do this now, and they will be guiding you as to when your row will stand up and orderly come forward to get a candle and participate. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathy Solu. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a tall Western European woman who is committed to the work of anti-racism and anti-oppression. I have curly white hair and I wear wire-rimmed glasses. Today I am donning a floral dress and my silver flaming chalice necklace, both to honor this very special day at Beacon. This is not the first time I have stood in this chancel. I had the privilege many years ago of participating in my colleagues and your most beloved former Minister of Religious Education, the Reverend Carol Haig's ordination. Carol and I met in the 90s, long time ago, during our early years in the profession. We participated in a polity class at Drew University. We hiked the Ramapo Mountain trails during our yearly religious educators retreats and shared religious educational programming ideas during our monthly professional meetings. Over the years, I served our Morristown, Montclair, 4th UU communities. I also worked as a consultant in our Metro District, now part of the Central East region. During that time, I served on the UUA's Committee on Family Ministry, conducted district youth adult leadership trainings, offered workshops on congregational growth and accessibility. I have been retired from the profession for almost 25 years, oh my gosh, but never have I stepped away from the spiritual practice of teaching and learning from our young people. This year, Reverend Robin and DRE Jamaine gave me and my husband, John, the privilege of working with the coming of age class. Under their guidance, we explored the topics of personal and religious identity, humankind's religious impulse through the ages, and our UU heroes and prophets. We defined white privilege and considered our role in fighting racism. Journeying with our children and youth is a rich and rewarding spiritual practice. For me, a path to deepening my religious life. John and I found our way to this historic and esteemed UU community by following our daughter, Kara, and her husband, Joshua, who were in need of a robust religious education ministry for our grandsons, Theodore and Emerson. We are so blessed and proud to watch them grow in our faith here at Beacon. You have enveloped us with your generous spirit and unwavering sense of purpose. John and I are eager to continue our participation in the life of this beloved congregation. Thank you so very much for welcoming us with your open arms.
In the spirit of generosity and love, this morning's offering will be gratefully received. Good job.
chances are you know this next song, which was chosen by the participants in this service. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing with us. It goes like this. Ready? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. 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 Let it shine.
It's off. Hello. My name is Callum Katz, and I come with a very simple message. Adversity creates change. This statement is not a new idea, obviously, but if someone faces no adversity, they could become complacent and choose not to bring themselves up to the highest standard possible. A way people become complacent as adults is that they're not taught to bring criticism and defiance to what they were told as a child. For example, don't eat cookies before bed. I think it's a great idea. It's important that kids know that it's okay to speak up and, it's okay that kids know that it's okay that kids can speak up against things that they know are wrong and ask critical questions. If you would like further proof, let's look at nature, for example. An amazing example is a little mouse called a rock pocket mouse. They live in flatlands and mostly deserts where lava flows have happened. These little mice had abundance of food, but with the desert being a desert, it's obviously very hot, so food became scarce. These lava flows grew lots of food. The mice went onto the lava flows, but they were brown for the sand, and they eventually evolved to turn black because they were eaten by predators. Not ideal, pretty adverse. There was too much competition for the food on the flatlands. That's why they went. As humans, I hope we're a little bit more advanced than, running for food, but we need to create change for ourselves. We didn't evolve to be here in a building while birds are outside eating things off the ground. You can be a great facilitator for change in your environment. Being a facilitator for change means that you bring ideas forward and challenge the ones that you don't believe in. Some examples: someone is less than you because of the color of skin or what they identify as. Not a good idea. Incorrect. Adversity is also important for kids. How else would I become an adult if I was treated like a 4-year-old or a 10-year-old throughout all of high school and college? One thing that I encourage is, if you are a kid, talk back to adults. Challenge the ideas that they tell you. Obviously, be respectful in your manner, but challenge the ideas that you are given. I feel as if the majority of the world and adults would like to pretend that becoming an adult is like snapping your fingers. Once you have someone who can teach you how to do it, you get pretty good at it, and can do it about 80% of the time. But that's not true in the slightest. I'm sure any adult in the room can tell you that when they did their taxes for the first time, they were scared the IRS was going to kick their door in looking for more money. Not every kid faces adversity, but I definitely did. When I was in second grade, I had 3 surgeries on my right leg because of a benign bone tumor. It kept me from playing sports and being social, and I was forced to stay home for a long time. Learning to interact with kids my age again took a long time, and it was ultimately a lesson in how to interact with and be sympathetic to people, even if you disagree with them or you don't have any experience talking to them. Thank you.
Hi guys. Okay. 40% of teenagers struggle with their mental health. I'm part of that 40%. It has been that way since I was 7, and I was able to get a therapist for the first time. Things got a little better, but deep down I was still struggling and I was unsure of how to cope with that. By 3rd grade, my anxiety and OCD were worse than ever, and I decided it was time for a new therapist. I thought that talking to someone new would finally help me shake whatever was going on in my brain. But to my dissatisfaction, the only thing that this therapist told me to do was put on an essential oil diffuser and take some deep breaths. I tried to tell her that it wasn't working, but she dismissed me and I was left to fix my own problems. Looking back, I'm actually kind of glad I had this experience because it led me to turn to music. Spending hours finding songs that I related to helped me feel truly understood and seen and helped me make it through that period in my life. The thing about mental health issues, though, is that they often come back. In the beginning of 9th grade, I began struggling again, and I forgot how to deal with that. I ended up being hospitalized and then sent away to a residential treatment program. I didn't find most of the treatments very helpful because it mostly consisted of sitting around in a circle and talking about the same 3 coping skills that had already been drilled into our brain 1,000 times. However, there was one thing that I looked forward to every week. I was able to earn the privilege of getting individual guitar lessons with the music director at the program, and it was the most amazing, freeing outlet I had while at that program. I loved the feeling of being able to lose myself in all my favorite songs and express my soul through every chord I played and every lyric I sang along to, even if just for an hour a week. Even though I've always loved music, that experience truly sparked my passion for it and helped show me how healing creative expression can be. This led me to decide that I want to share the power of music and creativity with others. I was recently hired at a summer discovery camp, and one of the main focuses of programming is to help the kids discover things that they're passionate about and that they enjoy. I hope to introduce the kids there to new creative hobbies because I think it is so important to find those kinds of outlets at a young age. And I strongly believe that we need more art and creativity to bring some of the soul back into the modern world filled with AI. Creative expression is how I found my voice, and I want to inspire others to do the same. Thanks.
Hello. I believe that contributing to community is the only way to ensure that everyone is supported and can thrive together. In the marching band, I have learned that success does not come from trusting somebody else to help out, but for everybody to individually commit to it. Additionally, I found this is the way I felt the happiest and had the most fun in the band. Any small action can make a big difference, and I think it is important for more people to try and step out of their comfort zone to create the best environment possible. Signing up to be the marching band librarian was one of the best choices I've made. At the start of the year, it was difficult, as I was expected to organize and create almost 25 music books, each with different parts for about 15 songs each. But through it, I realized that I loved helping out and making people happy when they got the right music or lost their copy and I could get them another one. When other people helped me, we always had the best time, and we'd spend it laughing and cutting up the music sheets together. It built us a sense of community, and I want other people to be able to feel that way too. Now I spend every lunch period crafting more and more books until the end of the year when they'll be finished, which becomes the highlight of my day. Sometimes being helpful comes from something even more personal though. In the 8th grade, our marching band had a missing member and needed somebody to fill that spot permanently. Reluctantly, I got my friend to sign up, who was fearful of what would happen and how she would fit in. So I made it my mission to never leave her side and built a sense of happiness and belonging whenever we went to practice or sat together on the bus ride to competitions. 3 years later, I'm so grateful I built that bond, and even more that our community was so accepting and helpful to new people. Overall, I believe that it is human nature to want to make things better for others, and once everybody acts on this, we can truly feel fulfilled. Thank you.
Tell him, take your time. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheeran Vijayasingham, he, him, his. And when I first heard that Kathy had asked the class for a parent to do this, and that Devin, my son, shot his hand up volunteering me, I had no idea what to expect. But as I learned what it was I'd be doing, I am honored and grateful to be here. It's a privilege to represent the parents of our fine coming-of-age youth in sharing wonderful snippets about our youth with all of you. For me, it's a deeply personal moment. I can still remember when Gina, my wife, and I first walked into this congregation 15 years ago, and Devin was in the baby room, which at the time was the office that Jay and Jamaine occupy now. And I've gotten to know our coming-of-age youth on their RE journey, whether it's visiting houses of worship or fighting over the best snacks to have when we were watching the deeper meaning behind Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. So I stand before you today as a parent representing all these amazing parents, those who taught, those who gave rides, who helped chaperone, who brought snacks, who helped in countless other ways. So I will now read from you actual excerpts from the letters each parent has written for their youth. And each of them a distinct part of a personal message, and yet melded together beautifully, thank you, Kathy, into a single unified message for our youth. Dear coming-of-agers, Dad and I found that the more that you grew, the stronger and the more daring you became. You have always wanted to be in the middle of everything. Even from a young age, you were listening and wanting to understand what those around you were saying. Now you are someone who identifies inequities, injustice, and suffering in the world. You've made it a goal to lessen these things and make the world a little bit better. We know you can and will make a difference. One of the things I love most about you is your willingness and capacity to be a helper to anyone in need. I see this from you every day, whether it's offering a hand to a teammate or an opponent down the lacrosse field, stopping to offer assistance to a stranger with a flat tire in town, giving me or Dad a hug when you sense that we're down, or one of the many times you've rescued an injured bird. You not only do this so willingly and easily, and you never expect anything return. It's an act of selflessness and empathy. Not everyone possesses this spirit. Many people intentionally look the other way when the hard things happen. We hope you know that whenever you need us, we will always be a helper to you. When you were younger, and you spoke to us about wonder and encouraged the family to say grace at our meals together. You loved animals and learning about the natural world. While saying grace, holding each other's hands was important to you. We cherish these memories. You've grown so much in these past few years. And as we watch you grow, our hope that your foundation of awe and curiosity will continue through your life. We are proud of you and your willingness to reflect during the time in RE classes. Religion, spiritual practices, and faith communities have played key roles in the lives of all your ancestors. Because our people come from a variety of backgrounds and faith traditions, we've chosen to belong to a UU community. so our varied backgrounds and beliefs could equally be respected. While you work hard to make a life for yourself in the coming years, we hope you will strive to uphold these UU values that we learned at Beacon. We want you to respect other humans and the planet, to pursue justice and equity, to develop your own spiritual beliefs, to find community, and to respect other faiths. You're good at paying attention. You observe, you think, you take things in, you ask excellent questions. Don't lose that. The world will try to rush you, to label you, to tell you who you are. But there is real value in being someone who watches, who reflects, and learns at their own pace. At the center of your search for truth is love. Not the easy kind, the real kind. Love is knowing that the world can hurt and showing up anyway. Love is paying attention to an injustice, even when it would be easier to look away. Love is staying vulnerable, even when you know your heart can break. You've been blessed with a kind heart, good humor, and an easy nature. You have the ability to lighten up a room, make people feel at ease, find something funny in the middle of something that is hard. That's a gift. Use it. It will carry you and others through more you can imagine. We love you, and we love loving you. Mom and I can still remember the moment you first heard that God created the world in 7 days, and you almost laughed, not out of disrespect, but because your mind simply couldn't stop asking itself, how could that possibly be true? That instinct to question, to push back, to refuse the easy answer has defined you from the beginning. It made faith feel like a closed door for a long time, and you didn't quietly accept that. You kept asking. Finding the UU church didn't feel like luck to you. It felt like an arrival that your own questions had led you toward. What we watched happen in you here wasn't just relief at finding a better fit. It was something more important. You discovered that questioning itself had value, that searching seriously, sitting with uncertainty, and still choosing to engage is its own form of integrity. When you are unsure what to do the right thing. Always come back to this. Make it your North Star. It's often easier said than done, and at times it requires courage and guts. Sometimes doing the right thing will solicit criticism. It won't always be clear what the right thing is. In times like that, I think of you, your sister, and your mom. All of you are my compass. What would they do? What would they think of the situation? How would I feel explaining my choices to them? These are incredibly powerful questions and can help you cut through the fog. You won't always do the right thing, and that's okay. You'll experience lapses in judgment, impulse control, anger, and many other human emotions and flaws that guide us and guide us astray sometimes. Know that this will happen and don't beat yourself up about it. Instead, learn from those mistakes. If you can learn from the mistakes, they will take on value and inform your future self. When you are wronged, try to match it with grace. No one is perfect, and others, like you, won't always get it right. When I'm unsure what to do, I always remember the power of the pause. It sounds so simple that it couldn't possibly be effective, but it is so mighty. Our world, especially today, is a constant barrage of information, an ever-changing landscape, and by stopping, even for a moment, we create a tiny pocket of peace. What a beautiful gift. The skill to pause already lies within you. When creating your art, you take the time to be in the right headspace. Respond to the world in the same way. It will have to wait. You don't owe anybody anything. Take space, take time. Be exactly who you choose to be. One quality we saw in you when you were little that is still there today is your fantastic determination. Even as a little kid, you would push and strive to get what you wanted, no matter what. Even when other kids would have thrown up their hands and given up. We see that in your work ethic and all the cool things you've taught yourself to do. Some of your most amazing qualities, however, have come from letting later come later. That is how you become a wonderful artist, crocheter, bandmate. There will be plenty of things you need to plan out in the next couple of years. But Mom and I have learned there needs to be time to take a walk, to play a game, to have a friend over to bake with. We hope that you know deep down in your bones that you are perfectly enough, exactly as you are. We love you, every bit of you. So here's what we've learned. Being true to yourself and being true to others are not separate things. They are the same thing, seen from different angles. When you live with integrity, you keep your word. You are extending your inner life outward into the world. Trust is one of the most valuable things that a person can hold. It takes a long time to build and only a moment to lose. Guard it carefully in yourself and in others. Be someone people can count on, not because you are afraid of what happens if you aren't, but because you understand the weight and the gift of being trusted. When life hands you a hard choice, and it will, many times, pause and reach into yourself for the things you already carry. Your compassion, your authenticity, your commitment to truth, and your courage to grow even when that growth is uncomfortable. These are already yours. We are simply naming what we see. The fact that you found your way to a Unitarian Universalist church and its youth group on your own, without us pointing you there, tells us everything. You actively sought a community that would challenge you, support you, and ask you to think carefully about what you believe. That is not a small thing. That is courage. Congratulations to all of you, our coming-of-agers, on all your achievements and all that you will accomplish. We are so grateful to be part of your life's journey. You've enriched our lives and taught us so much. Thank you.
Okay. We would now like to invite the 5 Credos that spoke earlier. That would be Caleb, Devin, Kate. By the way, I'm Reverend J. Hooper. I will go through the online description later, but y'all know what I look like right now. I'm going to, and you two may please. Sure. Dahlia, oh yes, and Lucas, I'm sorry, and Teddy, and Rainer. Okay, thank you. Take with me, if you will, a little bit of a journey. I won't be before you long, but I want to address you with some information that I think should be helpful regarding this moment here. This is the moment where we actually place the chalice around the neck of our youth, and they wear it with pride, representing the knowledge, the love deeply of those around us in this community. But it is important for me at this point to express the technique involved in this metal work. If I may go back to my jewelry days, I will say the following. Making jewelry requires great skill and precision. I would know, I've been in art school, and I remember working on a bench and looking at this particular pendant that is on and around their neck. You will notice, if you look closely, how it is made. Go with me, if you will, into your imaginations. The metal is first melted down. It is flattened into a fine sheet of metal. This is the foundational shape before the work of art is applied. The piece is heated up before it has begun to be cut. This flattened sheet, each piece is cut out. It is then formed with a dapping punch. This punch is put into a steel metal cube that looks like Swiss cheese. Hammering into a concaved block, one piece is turned into a bowl-like rounded off shape. But we're not done yet. It is then engraved or etched with the chalice and coupled with the flame. The etching is then met with sulfuric acid to oxidize the process, giving it an antique finish. The edges are filed to the fineness to keep inflicting harm. The necklace that is used to put around the neck is a poly-cotton blend. Yes, I'm that specific. But it is necessary because it is petite, which is a technique that was used in ancient India, which means that there was wax applied to the fabric to ensure that it could withstand harsh conditions. I want to remind our youth today and some of our fellow community members here that sometimes we have to start at the very flattened foundation in order for us to embrace the art that we are living. Sometimes we are hammered, sometimes we get punched. Sometimes we go through these chemical changes and physical changes. And yes, sometimes that can feel like acid burning in our chest and it hurts. Sometimes we are transformed and we are refined just to make sure the edges are just right. Your edges today are finer than what they were at the very beginning. And when you find yourself a little worn and tired, don't worry. Metal can always be tried in the fire again and made anew. So no matter the quality, I was raised with the story of grace being girded around your neck. I will remind you the same thing. Have grace girded around your neck. And I will define grace as this for you. It is your inherent quality as a human being with a public uniqueness that no one else can touch. Go forth and be that light in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, please salute the first half of our coming of age class of 2026.
And now, beloved, it is time for our benediction. I'm joined by Hannah and Chad to do so. Would you rise as you're able and take hands?
Amidst the diversity of our truths and journeys, this we bless you with.
May the love that is our source
and ultimate return
hold you, guide you, and fill you.
Such that is a gift you give
to all whom you meet.
Until we meet once more.
Go in love.
Amen.
Amen.